Hey everybody and welcome back. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames and this is another edition. Can't remember which episode, 11, 12, somewhere around there, you'll see it on screen, of Demon's Souls, the Red Pill playthrough. We're playing on RPCS3, which is a PS3 emulator, and we're talking about the Red Pill, specifically based on the book The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. The Red Pill is a manosphere concept that comes from the Matrix movie. The reference is to being either blue-pilled or red-pilled. Red pill is the idea that you wake up, your eyes are opened, you see the real situation that you face, you know what's really going on. And the other idea is that if you take the blue pill, you remain ignorant, you just kind of are oblivious to what's going on around you, the way things really are. And now normally, if there are players available and you're connected to the online servers, it would take a player and summon that player into this game. So you would fight as a boss another player. That's pretty cool, but in this case we are playing emulated, so I'm not connected to server. So there is a default NPC boss you fight if no player is available. And you'll see where one of the pieces of head armor comes from when you fight this guy that you saw in Dark Souls. It came from Demon's Souls. A very iconic piece of head armor that kind of stands out, so to speak, sticks out. Now this is going to be a bit challenging because we have to deal with not these guys. These guys are no problem for the most part. There are some Black Phantom Mind Flayers. Excuse me. They're going to be the real challenge here, okay? These little dudes are nothing compared to them. And because we're in this narrow space where we have to run up to them in a fairly straight line, it's going to be somewhat challenging. We've encountered this before. They like to put these difficult Mind Flayer guys in these cramped spaces. So we'll see what we can do here, right? We're going to use the Thief Ring to give us a little bit more of an advantage. I think he turns around and walks away, but let's wait and see. If not, it's going to be a real pain in the butt. Come on, turn around. Today we don't have a very specific topic. I wanted to do this playthrough, knock it out, but I didn't have a whole bunch of notes. But I did write something that we've talked about a little bit before. Two keynotes, really, that we could make each one an entire episode in and of itself, especially when you start giving examples and stories. Number one is don't fight for a relationship that's not worth the battle. That's a big one. I referenced that in the finale episode of our Dark Souls the Manosphere playthrough. He is not going to turn around, is he? And the reason you don't fight for a bad relationship is bad relationship isn't worth it. Uh-oh. Okay. You can sometimes stagger them. It depends on what part of their animation they're in. But it's not reliable. I think there's one more. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully there's not. Hopefully there's just one. Yeah, there he is. I wonder if I can... Oh, this is going to take a while. I didn't know he could shoot a little soul arrow, or whatever they call it in this game. Interesting. That attack right there, that attack that paralyzes you is very deadly. We are ready, guys, for our coffee. Let me push the plunger down on this French press. If you've never had coffee with French press, I highly recommend it. It's my favorite way to make it. I think it's the most flavorful. It just really brings out the strength and bitterness of the beans. Some people want their coffee to be as smooth as possible. Some don't mind it being a bit bitter. I like my coffee to be as dark as possible. That's my thing. Oh, and by the way, I looked up how to get more upgrade materials. Came to the realization that this game, it's a lot harder to reliably get the upgrade materials you need to maximize your upgrades. So, what can you do, right? Let's go ahead and put on the Regenerator's Ring. Now, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good in the middle of a fight with a boss because it's not going to regenerate health that quickly unless the boss fight has a lot of downtime, such as the Armored Spider. There are parts in that game where you're just kind of hiding for a bit while he does certain attacks, and as long as you're in the right spot, there's no risk to you. So you could just be there for a bit, regaining health if that's what you want to do. This guy is fairly easy to stagger, if I remember correctly. Although he will often roll away, and I don't know if he... I think he does heal, doesn't he? Oh shit. This is the danger here, is if he gets you in a corner. He moves slightly faster than you, so just be aware of that. That's the one catch. Oh, damn. And done. That was surprisingly easy. I've definitely had much more trouble with this guy, although I typically don't die to him. Now, if you look up here, I don't think you can even see that one dude anymore, can you? He's just gone now. He just faded away. And there's nothing in this room. But it's a cool room. Time to go. Nothing else to do here, folks. So, back to this topic, not fighting for a bad relationship. One guy put a comment on my video that he felt that I was expressing what he said was incel energy in one of my rants, I guess. I actually didn't feel it was much of a rant. I think I've definitely gone off on some more significant rants in this series. Well, in the last series, Dark Souls, the Manosphere series. That's where the comment came from. However, I did talk to him. I guess his concept of incel is a little different than mine. Now, for those that don't know, the term incel, it's spelled I-N-C-E-L, and it refers to this concept, this idea, kind of a stereotype of this loser male. And typically it's a slightly younger guy. He probably is really into video games and computers, and he's living in his mom's basement. He doesn't know how to take care of himself very well, and he just can't get girls because he's such a big loser. So he hates the world because he can't get girls. I think that's the concept behind it. Let's get 20,000 souls and level up again here. That's the concept behind incel, is the notion that you got these guys out there that are such big losers that they can't get girls, and so they're just kind of perpetually virgins and not in a relationship. Now, how true that is? Well, yeah, are there examples of that? Sure, there are examples of that. But on the same token, there are women that are in that boat. There are women that just are socially awkward. They don't look good. They don't dress well. They don't know how to dress very well. And ultimately, the result of them is that these are girls that don't see much success with men. Now, I will say that because of the intergender dynamics, women get a inflated sense of their value. In a way, I guess you could say they have higher value inherently, because what'll happen is guys that can't find the girls that they want, or girls that are up to their standards, will settle for girls much lower than them. And they'll do this out of sheer desperation, I think is the way to put that. These guys become so desperate to get some, so to speak. We'll say the word intimacy instead of the word sex. I'll try to, at least. So they get so desperate for intimacy that they will settle for a woman clearly beneath their level if they can't get one at or above their level or around their level. So let's say there's a guy and he's a solid 6 or 7 on the sexual market value scale. Well, he's trying to get girls that are, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what his goal is, right? But if he can't, he might go for a 4 or even a 3. He might do that. I mean, shoot, he might go for a 2. There are guys that they might be a solid 6 and they'll go for a 1 if that's all they can get for that moment. The Flying Manta Rays. I think the Thief Ring would do us well here, I believe. This is an interesting fight. It's another gimmick fight, but it's a... What is this? It's a gimmick fight that very specifically requires one particular weapon, which is provided to you here. So your goal is to go get the weapon without dying. As long as you keep moving, it's usually not too bad, although I recommend moving in a zigzag pattern. If you move in a straight line, you'll sometimes get hit, depending on where the attack is coming from. And then once you get down here, you have the fortune of maybe having the attacks get blocked by some of this shit. And this is the weapon that we need. Okay. So, the only way to defeat this boss that I know of, maybe there's some other way to do it, but I'm not aware of it, is that you have to use the Storm Ruler weapon. And there's a great place to do it that I like to use to maximize your security and not dying. I don't think this is a super safe spot right here, so let's move. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay. But I will take off this just so I... Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now, I two-hand this thing and do this. There we go. It drains a shit ton of stamina to do this, so, you know. Double kill. All you need is any stamina. But I think it pretty much drains your entire bar when you do it. Triple kill. Kill-tacular. Killionaire. And then you gotta hit that guy as he comes around. I like to get rid of the little guys. I aim at them first so that they don't keep hitting us. Get them both! We got one. As long as we're getting one at a time, I mean, that's better than none. One at a time is better than none at a time, right? Can I get up on that? No. Oh shit, he hit us. He hit us. Got him. And that one too. Nice. But it's a very, very loud... Come on, come on, come on, come on. One more time. Now he will let off a barrage of attacks, so you gotta be careful here. Keep your health up. Best way to handle this fight. Just keep your health all the way up. Have some good armor on. Because his barrage of attacks can do a lot of damage. This black coffee is excellent. It's hot, it's black. It's all it needs to be. Okay, this is where the barrage of attacks is going to come, and I think you're safe right about here. I usually only get one hit off on this guy for some reason. Oh, that's two. That's good. No more now, though, right? Wait, hang on. There we go. And if you go out there, I believe the manta rays you kill in the sky can actually drop items, and you'll find them out there in the field. So it's worth running around again and make sure you picked up everything. It looks like we're not going to kill that. I call them manta rays. I don't know what they're really called, but whatever. Here we go. Nope. That's weird. Really? Okay, so I didn't get him one time. Fascinating. Probably because I'm back in here and everything's being blocked. All of these archdemons are gimmick fights, basically. Which is disappointing. It's not really based on your third-person action RPG skills like all the other bosses, most the other bosses are. These bosses are very much akin to like the Beta Chaos. Come on, one more and let's finish this up, let's finish this up. God damn it. Ah, there we go. All right. right, we did it. Yep, here's where they drop their items. Come on, get over that. I don't know what Cloudstone does, but we're not going to use it. I know that much. And of course, once you kill the main dude, all the other smaller guys are just gone at that point. I believe we got everything in this area. And the noise from the water here is actually reverberating a bit, so I think there's some... It doesn't sound as good as it's supposed to. There's some sort of issue with the emulating the music. That sucks. Anyway, the guy was talking about incels. I imagine he meant to say MGTOW, the men going their own way movement, MGTOW. I've heard it pronounced MGTOW and MGTOW and MGTOW. Or just men going their own way. The idea of that movement is that this is a group of men that's decided, for the most part... Oh, there we go. See, I thought there was one more thing out here. This is a group of men that has decided... oh, and there's another one. Woo! That dating and relationships with women... I mean, they're not gay. They don't advocate dating men. But they're just saying relationships with women are not worth it in modern society. There's just so much risk. It's not worth it. There are no... even reliably sure ways to avoid the risk. We live in a terrible age. We live in the age of family law raping men in court. We live in the age of law enforcement almost always favoring women, even when the accusations are completely made up. Even if there's no evidence or proof, whatever, and both make accusations against the other, they tend to favor the woman just because most of them are whipped like that and just are so excited to jump at the chance to go rescue a fair maiden. It's pathetic, it is, but it's what they do. It's what a lot of beta men do. So, a man can be alpha in one way and ultra beta in other ways. Like, a man can be alpha and be like a big, strong, bodybuilding police officer, and just be totally beta in how he relates to women. So, one thing to keep in mind. There really is no such thing as an alpha male versus a beta male. They're concepts, but you can refer to a guy as beta in that, in the aspect you're talking about, he acts and performs as a beta. Or you can refer to guys as being alpha in that context, in that way, in that manner, he is acting and performing as a beta. So when I use those terms, I don't mean to imply that it's a universal thing. Like there are beta males out there and they always act beta, and there's alpha males out there and they always act alpha. It's not usually how it works. 10,000? 8,000. I think that's enough for another level. Let's see. No, 22,181. You notice the music has changed here. Oh, jeez. We're so close. So close. There we go. Let's get a little more health. How about that? Oh, we're looking pretty good. I just can't believe that we're only at longsword +8. Kind of disappointing. Just didn't get the drops I wanted. I need 2 more chunks of hardstone, but you know. You know, if I'm not mistaken, can I don't think I can get to the final boss without finishing all the archdemons. I think I actually have to do this last level. I haven't done the final level of this because I just hate it. I guess it's not that bad in the grand scheme of things, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to Alt-Tab there real quick. Hopefully it doesn't affect the recording much. All right. Again, I'm playing this on an emulator on my PC, and I have 2 monitors running at all times. So there you go. Now this is where the Regenerator's Ring is super useful. Also the Adjudicator's Shield, I think it's called. We don't have it. At least we don't have it on us. But the Adjudicator's Shield gives you a bit of health. You can also put a Faith or Blessed Path on your weapon that allows you to slowly regain health. So I believe with the regenerator ring and one additional health boosting item, the effect of the poison of the swamp is negated. You heal up all the damage you take from the swamp down here. It's very much a Blight Town swamp type setup here. Really wanted a plus 10 longsword by this point, but yeah, well, whatever. You can see that this is the shortcut. So, yeah, we definitely want a shortcut. Shortcuts are good. There we go, and you get in there, and... Where's the poison? No poison yet? Really? Oh, you can't roll in this swamp. So this swamp in some ways is worse than the Blight Town swamp because you cannot roll at all. Alright, and you got these little punks. Also, this is where you can get the Moonlight Sword. You cut down this net full of blobs or something, and then the sword is in that. There's also an extremely difficult fight here. Well, there it is. Okay, just, you know what? It didn't show the poison counter meter coming up. So is that an emulation issue there? I think, yeah, the poison's going to take us down faster than the regenerator's ring will bring us up. But, whatever. By the way, this area looks terrible. It's just hard to see anything because there's supposed to be this rain falling. On the PS3, it just looks like an absolute shitty mess. It's just terrible. I don't know how else to put it. They did not need to do the rain thing. It just looked awful. So, now do I advocate the MGTOW position of just giving up on women? Well, no, but I can't argue with their logic. Is there any safe way to date or marry women? No, there's not. Not in modern society, not in the West. There's not. There just isn't. If you are dating women, especially if you marry one, you are taking on a lot of risk. Living with one, you're taking on a lot of risk, and there are things you can do to mitigate the risk. Okay, is that our NPC over there? Yeah, I think that's our NPC. He has a weapon that cuts through your shield. He moves really fast and doesn't appear affected by the swamp. You are. It is a really, really unfair fight. Damn! That's not the one. Oh! Oh, come on. I was not ready for that. See how she can just run around in there? Now that's... I was thinking of Sailing Vinland, but that's also a bullshit fight. Because she moves around like the swamp doesn't exist. Now we can't use the regenerator's ring without... With the cling ring and still have our full armor on. But you know what we might do is just do this. And let me see if I can wear one of these and still look... Oh, damn. I thought it was a possibility. Oh, well. What's the weight on that? 6.9? Okay. So what's the weight on that? 4.6? Oh, I bet you we can do that. Nope. Not even close. Look. Look. Okay. Actually, let me see about taking that out and putting that on. No. Okay. That's just how it's gonna be, huh? I guess the bow is only 1 point of weight, huh? Now, it's easy to fall into that trap. And it's not really a trap, per se, but it's easy to go, well, you know what? We just need to give up on women. And no one would blame you for that. Well, I mean, in terms of people in this movement, the Red Pill movement, because it's the only safe way. Now, people could say, well, gee, you could bump into a woman on the street and she could cry rape. Yeah, but let's be honest. I mean, that's possible. It's just super, super unlikely. The real likelihood is that someone you're dating or have actually been with will cry rape. That's the real possibility. Because if you look at most of these claims, it's not this guy going, man, I have no idea who this woman is. She just came out of nowhere. It's oh, well, this, I was dating her for a while and then things went bad and then she started claiming that I did this and I did that. And that's where the real claims come from. That's where the accusations tend to come from, not from some woman you've never met before in your life. So realistically, yes, it could happen. You could get accused by some random person on the street, but woman, but probably not. It's probably going to be a woman you know and have interacted with before. So what can you do to mitigate that? What can you do to make relationships safer? Well, you have to handpick carefully, very carefully, handpick the women you deal with. Because every time you date a woman, you run that risk. Oh, shit. There we go. You run the risk of this woman making an accusation. You run the risk of the relationship going bad and her pulling out the false DV accusation. If you date a woman, or if you get married, rather, if you get married and then there's a custody battle at some point or there's an argument over the kids, that's where she comes up with the false abuse allegations, and this is what they do. It's just so stock standard. Like, I've been to groups where men talk about these issues, and it is just incredible to see how nearly every man in there has identical stories of the false accusations, of the false abuse claims. It's almost cookie cutter. That's bullshit. I wasn't even close to it. You guys saw that. And wasn't even there either. You can see that when the strike hits the ground, there's several in-game feet of space between me and where the attack is. But whatever. This is why I hate this area. I really ought to just make a beeline for the end. Too bad I don't know where that is. If I knew where it is, I'd just make a beeline to get over it. The problem is, you don't want to make areas in video games where players hate them, genuinely hate them, and just all they want to do is get it over with. And the perfect example is the sewer maze level. So many games have that bullshit, garbage sewer maze level that nobody likes, everybody hates. It's like the bane of video games, and they keep putting it in there. No, we're not talking about it in this sort of fun, interesting, like, yeah, we all hate it, but it's a rite of passage. No, we just hate it. We just don't like it, period. Don't like it. Don't do it. Just don't put it in games, please. Stop putting it in games. We don't like it. Nobody likes it. It just 100% makes the game less enjoyable, period, end of story. But they still do what they do, you know? I wish I knew where to go, you know? I might have to look it up online just to get through this area without having to encounter those complete bullshit NPC fights here. Look at this. It's a shiny. We gotta grab it. Just something wonderful about picking up an item that you know you're never going to use, and you knew you were never going to use it. I was pretty sure it was the Murden Hammer. I was thinking the Lucerne, but I don't think this game has a Lucerne. It's called the Murden Hammer. Now, one thing that you can do here... Oh, the I forgot there's another Regenerator's Ring here. One thing... Can you double stack those? I don't think so. You can get a Blessed weapon. Get a weapon up to +1 Blessed. Or Blessed, whatever. And then, when you're not fighting, just hold it. Now, that's kind of annoying having to switch back and forth, but put it as your secondary weapon. So make it like a Blessed Dagger, some really, really light weapon, or a Blessed Bow. I've done that before. I had my bow be blessed. And I would just hold on to the bow when I'm not in combat, running through the swamp, and the blessed effect would slowly heal me, along with the Regenerator's Ring. And then when you actually need to fight, you just, swap back to your other weapon, swap back. So then you just always keep the blessed one out when you're just roaming around for that health regen. And then you can also, if you don't typically use a shield, just throw the Adjudicator shield on your back, or just carry it with you, and that'll also heal you up. I should have brought it down here if I'd picked it up, although I don't think I picked it up. It's in the Shrine of Storm somewhere, and I don't actually think I got it in this playthrough. However, if you don't have anything to regenerate, you can pick up the Regenerator's Ring here in the swamp, and then just use Crescent Moongrass. It is highly, highly, highly recommended that you just buy Crescent Moongrass for this if you don't have any. Don't burn your good grasses for this, unless you're using the stockpile Thomas glitch to hack in, not hack, but, you know, cheat in the grasses. Now, this right here is bullshit. Come on now. You telling me you couldn't just walk up on that? We all know you could just walk up on that. We all know you could climb up on that. Now, there are some very difficult enemies over here, like those big dudes right there. You want to make sure that when you fight them, it is not in the swamp. Yeah. F that. Don't need to, don't care to, don't want to, goodbye. Oh, shoot. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me in this game. Like, okay, what you don't want to do here is fall down, because then you got to go all the way back around. And it's a pain in the butt trying to lock onto the enemies on the ground when your game wants to lock onto the mosquitoes. Now, it's interesting, that one dropped an item. I don't know what they drop. Oh, I hear the mosquitoes coming for me. I hear them. Yep, there it is. Oh, shoot. Okay. One right there. Drop right there. I really don't want to miss the shortcut in case I die here. Okay. Oh, shoot. Almost slipped right off. Black turpentine, that's good. That'll be useful for the boss fight. Very useful for the boss fight. The element here, guys, is fire. Don't use your sticky white stuff. Use your turpentine. Enemies here are weak to fire. Oh, wait. That was... Okay. That was just... Alright. See, you could have fallen off there and it wouldn't have been a big deal. That's right. My mistake. Don't listen to me. Now, you can mostly run through here without running into too much trouble, but you just got to be careful. Oh, gotta run. Get this item I don't need. There we go. Thank goodness I got this item I don't need. So, back to don't fight for bad relationships. So many men make so much effort to maintain, fix a bad relationship that they know is bad, that they know doesn't work for them, that they know is no good, that they're not happy with. And you know why they do it? Because they can't think about it any other way. It's like in their mind, like this is the girl they have, and they just gotta have this girl, and I mean, it's what makes them, I don't know, not really happy, but man, they just can't imagine it any other way. I just about got creamed back there, guys. I gotta get on the move here. I am being chased. Oh shit, I shouldn't have gone for that one. Now I'm in trouble. Go, 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 go. Go, go, magic. Magic. Go, go, gadget. Golly. Oh, shit. Oh, that's it. I don't see a way around this. Golly. I have stamina. Act like it, please. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Is this gonna be the end for me? No. Okay. Use it, use it, use it, use it, use it. There you go. Come here. Come here. Oh, they're still coming. I gotta get out of here. Golly, that stupid push. Oh. That FromSoft was really proud of themselves creating that bullshit, huh? Alright. That guy's stuck right there, and he can stay stuck as far as I'm concerned. I think those guys give you a plague or something, so we need to get rid of him. We don't want him getting us, that's for sure. Alright. Well, let's see here. This is not the way forward, is it? We gotta go back out and up and around, darn it. Well, you know, I guess we could do this. We're just gonna sit here and take a lot of damage from the poison. Oh yeah, this isn't too bad. We can make this work. Doesn't seem to do any different whether I hit him in the head or elsewhere. There's no extra damage. So if you know a relationship is bad, just don't invest. Don't take the time for it. Just be done with it, end it, and move on. If she's borderline personality disorder, narcissistic, you want to plan your escape. If you're married, have kids, house, all that stuff, you want to plan your escape. You go talk to a lawyer quietly. Don't tell anybody, because you never know who's gonna talk to her about it. But you go get a lawyer very quietly. You quietly plan your escape. You plan every element of it. When do you leave? How do you leave? What do you take? You know, all of that stuff. And the reason you do that is because you got to be careful about the accusations that are about to come, the ensuing battle. Because if she's crazy, like a lot of women are, she's going to turn it into a knockdown, drag-out battle. And what you don't want is for... The difficult thing here is that you're so used to hitting that roll button. You do it in the swamp, even though you know the swamp isn't a place where you can roll, just because you're just so used to hitting that button. So you hit it without even thinking about it. Alright, getting a little slow down here, but... That stupid push attack, it's so ridiculous. It just reminds me so much of the crap that Tanimura put in Dark Souls 2. Oh my gosh, this game. This game. You can say, I mean, even if, with the higher quality of 1080p and better graphics from this emulator, it is still a pain in the butt trying to see where to go. It's just... It's hard to tell what's what, where you can walk, if you're gonna fall. It literally hurts my eyes looking at this shitty mess. But somebody, I mean, they did QA testing on this, and somebody approved this trash. I mean, this could have looked so much better. This could have been a fun area. Instead, it's just this garbage mess. Like I said, you gotta see it on the PS3 to really see just how terrible it actually looks in person. Oh my goodness. And we're getting that slowdown too. I see other people post their results from the emulator on YouTube. They tend to be getting better results than me, even with like a 1070, GTX 1070, and I have a 1080. That push move. Pathetic. Don't they know anything else? Alright. And up here. Okay, where are we going? Are we going this way? I have a feeling I'm going to miss opening the shortcut. Unless this is the shortcut. Yeah, see, look at that. What is this? Oh, what a mess. Can't see anything. Oh, falling here. Falling here would not be cool. If I remember correctly, I don't think I've ever actually died to this boss, but now that I've said it, you know what's going to happen, right? The worry that you have here is that when you go to attack that, you're going to take a step forward and fall off the edge. So the safest bet is to shoot it if you can, crossbow or arrows. Bows. If you swing a weapon, you're likely to fall off if you're not careful. Oh, and I step forward and I send the thing flying, so there you go. The other thing, too, is... I don't know if we've ever discussed it, but a really important concept. Never play this game where you're out there trying to save a woman. Don't save a woman, okay? If she's in a predicament... I mean, I'm not saying if you see a woman who's being attacked or something not to go to her aid. I don't know. That's up to you. Those are always tricky situations. You don't know exactly what the situation is, but don't try to save a woman from her own circumstances that she created for herself. Because, and there's a lot of reasons. Oh, here we go. Okay. There. So now we do have the shortcut. That's great. Now I got to go back, though, because now I don't know where to go for the boss. But it does mean that we don't have to go through the swamp anymore. We can just bypass the swamp entirely. The reason you don't want to try to save a woman is, number one, ultimately, she... Okay, I'm not sure how that works in any context, but yeah, just fell off the edge for no apparent reason whatsoever. Beautiful. Just beautiful. She's not ultimately going to have any appreciation for it. She's just not. Golly. Look at this. Don't you just love how they can move at a regular pace and you're slowed down? Their movement is unhindered, practically. I mean, there's virtually nothing you can do here except run. I don't know what you're supposed to do. You can't block it. You're not going to be able to take them out before they hit you at least once. You can't stagger them out of it. You can't parry them, to my knowledge. So you just got to keep up this little running game until they give up on you. And I don't know. Might be time just to get out of here and start over and go the shortcut route. There's nothing fun about this level, guys. There really isn't. It's just an absolute drag. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, this fun. This is fun. Let's shoot him. There we go. But at least we fight him on solid ground here. Oh, shit. It was bad timing on my part. What the hell? That didn't heal me nearly as much as I thought it would. Oh, got him. Okay. So glad I did that for 456 souls. That was worth it. Not. Might... okay, I'm halfway there to get this iron. Let's just keep going, I guess. She ultimately won't appreciate any sacrifice you make for her, okay? Ultimately, women don't understand men's sacrifices. Even if she temporarily seems excited and happy about it, it'll quickly fade, and then when the relationship goes bad, everything you sacrificed and everything you did for her will be nothing. It'll be of no value whatsoever. She won't care. She won't even remember, most likely. And if she does remember, it won't matter. It won't make any difference. Keep in mind, too, a valuable lesson to learn is that as a general rule, and this is almost always true, every woman becomes a liberal feminist during a divorce. You think you're dating this conservative Christian woman, right? She hates feminism and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, watch what happens when you get divorced. Watch what happens, guys. So suddenly become that liberal feminist that this is the one that falls down and gives you the moonlight sword. I think if you shoot it. Yeah, there you go. Although we don't intend to use it, but you know, you never know, maybe in a future playthrough. I tend not to play this game in New Game Plus because I can't stand the increase in difficulty. It's just not fun for me. But it would be nice to play it in New Game Plus sometime, and I don't know, maybe just get a whole bunch of grasses, because then I can enjoy some builds that you can't do in New Game. You know, builds that take a while to work up to. Let's see about using something here. How about... What the heck? Oh, I'm constantly trying to dodge even though I can't. Got it. Now we're going to kill all these slugs just because we can, and just because I used a fire, so we're going to use it up. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Let's get this healed up, shall we? What the hell? Hard to tell which ones are still alive and which ones are dead. We're gonna have to start using the old method of just clicking to see what you can lock onto. Oh, I tried to dodge. Oh, I tried to dodge, and even though I was standing on solid floor, it counted as swamp. Okay, so there we go. Let's drop all this shit off at the Nexus, shall we? Woo! Yes. Woman doesn't care about your sacrifices as a general rule. Doesn't mean that no woman ever could possibly comprehend that you sacrifice and appreciate it. Obviously. These aren't, you know, absolute black and white scenarios here, guys. Please. Let's be reasonable. There's always nuance. Deposit all. Be nice if there was a deposit all materials, but whatever. Oh, we got another war scythe? Really? Really? Is it time to glitch some more grass into the game? I don't think we can open a shortcut to... yeah, see, I'm trying to avoid this nasty swamp, you know? I don't think... I just gotta do what I gotta do. So, if you try to rescue a woman from her situation, and in a lot of ways this comes up is, for example, true story, guys. Coworker I used to have. Well, he met a girl. I think I even told you guys this story before. Met her at a strip club. Okay, so you see where this is going, right? It's already gone half wrong there. I'm not, you know, pronouncing judgment on all strippers, saying they're all terrible, but you don't need to be involved with that. If a woman is in a stage of her life where she is stripping for money, that is not relationship material, okay? It's not, period. It's just not. So, and there are, I'm sure there are stages of life that guys are in where women should understand that he's not relationship material, but I'm not here for that. I'm not here to educate women on the dangers of men, you know. We're not going that angle, obviously. So, he gets involved with a stripper. And, surprise, surprise, she's got this desperate situation. She's got this kid, and he's sick, and has all these medical bills, and blah, blah, blah. He ends up paying, he buys her a car. He works a shit ton of overtime and pays for her apartment. And is giving her literally over $1,000 a month for this medication, okay? Now follow along, guys, because this gets even better, and nothing about it is surprising in the least. All of this stuff, right? Buying the car, paying for the apartment. He's locked into paying for this thing. He put it in his name, right? Then he's sending $1,000, $1,500 a month for these medications. Well, you'll pick up where this is headed. He can't figure out why she never wants him to go with them to these doctor's appointments. He offers because he wants to kind of know what's going on, and you know, he's part of it, he's paying for it, but never does. And you know, he doesn't see her son that often. Like, someone else is always watching him. Now, she does have a son. He's seen this son before, and he does have some sort of health issue, it would appear. But you should be just absolutely shocked to find out. Oh, that's the one that had the shaman's outfit. That's right. That in the end, he finds out that this kid's predicament isn't quite as dire as it was made out to be. There really wasn't any expensive medicine that he needed. I guess he had some autism or something like that. But as you guys know, there isn't an autism medication that cures it or something. He wasn't on any life-saving medication. Although he did need extra attention, her family was mainly providing that. He certainly wasn't. And lo and behold, he comes to the apartment one day when she wasn't expecting him, and I guess, you know, deep down he had his suspicions. Walks into the apartment that he's paying for, the bed that he bought her, and she's in it with another man. Now, red pill guys out there, not in the least bit surprised. Anybody who's read the Red Pill book by Rollo Tomasi, The Rational Male, it's not called the Red Pill book, but anyone who knows about the Red Pill movement is not actually surprised. They are, the opposite of surprised. They're expecting that. That if you were Red Pill aware, you were expecting that answer. You were expecting that little story arc. You knew already when I started the story, a couple sentences in, that, yep, finds her with another man, lies about how much money she needs. So the moral of this story is, don't try to rescue a woman. There's another story that a guy gave. He gave a presentation. I can only assume he's telling the truth. I don't know him personally. It was a presentation he gave on YouTube. And he talked about how, you know, there's this one girl he really liked. He was really into Hispanic chicks or Latina girls, and this girl was Latina. And so, you know, he's into her and she's into him, right? So she's struggling financially. He decides to get her an apartment. Okay? He's paying for it, utilities and all. And surprise, surprise, one day he comes over, even though she kind of objected a bit, but he insisted and she gave in. He gets in the bed and he says he instantly smells what he knows is men's cologne, not his. You know, he said an argument ensued, and after the initial denial, and this is almost always how it works, there's that initial denial. No. Then there's the, well, yeah, I did. And the reason I've seen another man is because you. It's your fault, and you're to blame because you... Long story short, he's locked into paying for this place for another 6 months or so, he said. With that, knowing that this woman was cheating on him, didn't really care about him, and now he has to pay all this money. You can imagine, guys. I mean, you can imagine, right? You think she respects him in the least bit? Do you think she appreciates his sacrifice? Do you think she's telling her family and friends how great he is? The exact opposite. He's talking about how much of a loser this guy is. Okay now, you know, you don't need to keep shooting me with that toxic miss. Once is enough there, buddy. I guarantee you she's running her mouth about how horrible he is and how he's an awful person and how he's violent and abusive, whether he is or isn't. Obviously, you know, I do want to state, yes, of course there are violent men out there. There are roughly an equal number of violent women as well, believe it or not. There's a meta-analysis of hundreds of studies on domestic violence, and the conclusion was that men and women are roughly equally likely to initiate or commit an act of domestic violence. So, contrary to popular belief, no, men are not more likely to be the abusers. That's just simply not true. However, it did say that there are some indications that men are more likely to cause more serious injury, likely because they're just larger. That's my take on that. Women are very capable of causing serious injury, no matter their size. I know of very small women. Stab, shoot, hit with pots and pans, a bat, cut with nails, fingernails, put a shoe through the guy's hand, the stiletto of a shoe through a guy's hand. So, women are violent creatures just like men, unfortunately. An interesting thing about that whole idea of trying to save a woman is that more often than not, you will find your experience just like the two stories I told you. Here you are trying to help this woman out, and far from being grateful and thankful, she uses everything you do for her and turns it against you. You know, it's like the story of the scorpion and the fox. The scorpion and the fox, they both need to get across this river to the other side. And it's it's not a raging river, but, you know, there's a pretty good, hold on here, current. Scorpion knows he can't make it across. The current will suck him down, but the fox could. Scorpion asks the fox if he can ride on his back. Oh, there we go. I don't know how I got here, so if I fail, I'll just stumble around again next time like an idiot. Let me see about doing something here. We want turpentine. We want all the turpentines as... Oh, why did I use that other one? Whatever. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. And so the fox says, no, you'll sting me. And the scorpion says, I won't sting you. If I sting you, we'll both drown. Why would I do that? And the fox says, good point. Of course you won't sting me if we'll both die. You wouldn't kill us both, would you? And the fox says, okay, I'll let you ride on my back and you can come across with me. So the fox starts swimming and swimming across, and the fox gets about halfway out, and at that point, the scorpion takes its tail and drives the stinger into the back of the fox. And the fox begins to feel the effects of the paralysis setting in. And the fox says, why would you do that? And the scorpion looks at the fox and says, I'm a scorpion. It's what I do. What? Buttons. When I press buttons, stuff is supposed to happen. Golly. Can we stop with this bullshit already, please? Oh, more bullshit. Can we stop with the bullshit, please? There we go. I'm running into this guys to get rid of these worms or whatever they are. So the moral of the story is, the scorpion is going to sting because that's just what the scorpion does. The scorpion can't help it. I mean, the scorpion can try not to and whatnot. Now, this might not be a totally biologically true story. Obviously, scorpions and foxes don't talk to each other, but the element behind this story is 100% accurate. There are elements in this world of... Elements, I'm sorry. There are ways in this world that people function. There are ways that people interact. Intergender dynamics, just they are what they are. A woman, when the relationship goes bad, more times than not, the vast majority of the time, actually, it's going to turn on you. Things go bad. I mean, love goes to hate just like that in the blink of an eye. And when it does, all the sacrifices you made for her, far from alleviating that, far from mitigating her hatred, far from making her thankful or grateful, instead, they will be turned against you. You will be made fun of for being the loser. She will mock you. She will use the money you gave her to hire a lawyer to take your kids away from you and take all your money. It will all be used against you. It's like giving your enemy a knife so they can stab you in the back. I know that sounds terrible, it really does, but it's just accurate at this point, you know? You know what? We do not have time for the final battle here, unfortunately. We will do this next time, and then we'll finish up the last area of Bulletaria, and maybe finish the game. Dang, we might be at the end. All of you people. Let's repair. I'm going to use the Stockpile Thomas glitch to max out our upgrade materials so I can get the sword up. I think I might need a pure hard stone, which I don't have, to take this to the next level. Or maybe I do, I don't know. We'll see. I will get with you guys next time in the next episode. I hope you join me for it. It's likely to be the finale. If not, it's the second to the finale. And with that, do not sacrifice unnecessarily for any woman. And make sure not to try to be the guy that saves a woman from her predicament. Let her get herself out of her own predicament before she's ready to be in a relationship. And don't fight for a bad relationship. That's just not worth it. That's dumb. We've all done it. Most of us, if we live long enough, have done it. But hopefully live and learn is one of the lessons here that we can pick up on. And hopefully you can learn from someone else's living without living through it yourself. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Thanks for joining. Make sure to join me on social media. Links are in the description. Twitter is where I'm most active. Subscribe here and like the video if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon, select all to actually get notifications, because YouTube just utterly broke their subscription system by, I don't know, messing with it the way they did. I don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. I've got so many complaints about how YouTube has screwed up their website. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Make sure to maintain your frame. Later, everybody.